Hey, this is Jonathan with Limitless Mindset, and this is my Biohacker review of Neuro, this stuff. And this is a product, it's a nootropic stack that is rich in lion's mane mushroom, what I think is the best nootropic mushroom, and 26 other COA, Certificate of Analysis verified ingredients. And I will encourage you to check out the article that is linked below this video because this is a fascinating product that contains some amazing things, and there's some information there that you're going to want to take a look at if you're looking for a full spectrum nootropic stack. So I have been using this for several months now. It's quite good. And as I researched this product further, as I really looked into everything that's in it, and I looked at the company Akua behind it, I said to myself, finally, an ethical nootropic stack. And I'll explain why, but first I'm going to take some. In fact, I'll just do 2 of these, and then I'll do 2 of the other, and I'll show them to you here. Kind of a distinctive looking tone to the capsules. And then I'll do 2 of these. This is kind of like the little brother to NeuroStack. It is called Enlighten. And you'll notice that those capsules, they are rather orange, aren't they? My teammates and I are preparing ourselves for a consummate challenge of mind and metal with some NeuroStack here at escapeway.bg.
Indiana Jones.
Okay. All right, we've completed the escape room on nootropics, Woody's first escape room. And
guys,
what's that?
Okay, high five.
Oh yes, high five. High five. High five. And
Dum.
I think we did a pretty good job for the difficulty of it. It was a very challenging escape room.
We chose the hard level.
So I think we did pretty good. We didn't finish it before time like we did the other time. We did nootropics before escape rooms. So escape rooms, nootropics, highly recommended. And I wanted to tell you about one of my favorite hobbies. You should really look into this. This is highly recommended for life hackers, biohackers, is doing escape rooms. They probably have one of these in your city. So escape rooms are these exquisitely designed, engineered, thematic rooms that you are locked into with your friends. And you have to figure out a bunch of clues that are kind of narrative and story driven, and figure out how to escape these rooms. And they give you an hour to do so. They are a real consummate challenge of your mind and metal. And recently, I've been doing escape rooms on NeuroStack. And I do think that the NeuroStack results in a cognitive uptick for me and my team members that helps us to find obscure clues, do math problems, figure out riddles, and crack ciphers in these escape rooms. So I hope that you will try escape rooms if you haven't already, and do them do them on nootropics. And I think you'll have a great time with your friends and family. And you know, it's also a little bit of a way to kind of proselytize the biohacker nootropic lifestyle. All right, I've got a new package to unbox. This. Okay, check it out. You're awesome.
Of course.
Of course, thank you. No need to say so. What's inside?
Supplement pack.
And we've got here the NeuroStack 2.0 formula, one of my favorites, a remarkable combination of COA verified ingredients. This is Enlighten. This is the new product and more of the 2.0 stuff. So, like I said, this stands out to me as a high integrity product. And there's two important things. These are kind of like two prosumer tips, if you will, like being more of a professional consumer as opposed to just being someone that swipes your credit card and then shovels supplements into your mouth. You want to take supplements and nootropics that are COA verified, certificate of analysis verified. This means that the ingredients are put through a mass spectrometry machine that does either an atomic or a molecular analysis of the ingredients, and they make sure that they are what the manufacturer says they are. And they also verify that the supplement doesn't contain harmful levels of the toxins that you, of course, want to avoid. Your lead, mercury, cadmium, arsenic, these types of things. And I recently finished this book. It was an extremely informative book called Food Forensics. And it was written by a guy that operates one of the top spectroscopy laboratories in the United States. And he tested a bunch of foods, and he also tested a bunch of health supplements, of organic health supplements. And he found, very concerningly, that a lot of the supplements that you find on the store shelves of your local pharmacy, your vitamin cottage, and even a lot of those supplements that you find on Amazon that have that big organic certified stamp that are on them that look quite credible, right? And have a bunch of 5-star reviews. Even a lot of those supplements have concerningly high levels of toxicity in them. And that's why, as a prosumer, you should not consume something, don't even buy something, unless you've seen a certificate of analysis for it. And the guys behind NeuroStack, they took the transparency to the next level, and not only did they send me their certificates of analysis, they published them, and I have them linked below here, so you know that you're getting the real thing. You know that you're actually getting the vitamins, the nutrients, the nootropic ingredients that are listed here on the label. As you can see, there's quite a few of them, and you can find the certificates of analysis for all of them, which is very cool. And another credibility indicator on this product, they use patented ingredients. And patented ingredients are kind of the next level of quality assurance for nootropic ingredients. A lot of the things that you'll see in this product and that you'll see elsewhere are they're things like turmeric, things like rhodiola, things like bacopa. And these are, of course, sold a million places online. But these molecules they're nutraceuticals. They come out of the ground. Often they come from nature, right? And there is a wide quality spectrum when it comes to these things. Some of these nutraceuticals are being produced in like pristine organic farms where people have really, really high standards for the quality, where people are standing right behind the quality of the product, guaranteeing it, warranting it. But a lot of times, these kind of ingredients will just come out of some factory in China where they really don't give a damn about the purity and the quality and making sure that things are sold within their expiration dates. And this is one reason why patented ingredients are something to look for, something that I hold in high esteem. These are, first of all, you have to think about the economic incentives in play, because we are all at the mercy of economic incentives, right? And so you have companies that are patenting special derivatives and formulations of highest purity, highest bioavailability sources of these different ingredients. And some of the things in it that caught my attention. So they use a form of turmeric. And of course, we all love turmeric, right? Your mother, if your mother was kind of a healthy lady, if she was into all that, she would tell you, make sure you take your turmeric and make sure you have some pepper with your turmeric, because otherwise it doesn't absorb, right? That's a terrible, terrible impression of a motherly figure. My mother doesn't sound like that. Apologies to all the mothers out there. I'm just not great at doing funny voices. Anyways, so yeah, we all know that turmeric is important. However, one of the things that this book exposed is that a lot of the turmeric that you find, and especially the turmeric that comes from India, which is like most of it, is really high in lead levels. They just don't have that high of industrial purity standards. They're just trying to push a product out the door, get it on a boat, send it to America so that you can consume it. And that makes me a little bit skeptical of turmeric. And I think I'm going to be sprinkling a whole lot less turmeric on my meals, because even though it tastes great and it looks nice, right? That's what makes the capsules look kind of orangish. It could have some health toxicities that are lurking in it. It contains 300 milligrams of curcumin C3 complex. And this is an ultra pure, ultra high bioavailable source of curcumin. And then it also contains Biopairing, and Biopairing is a patented form of pepper extract. And the Biopairing actually 20x's the bioavailability of the turmeric. So the 300 milligrams that's in a serving of this stuff is equivalent to 6 grams of the normal curcumin that you might take, actually. So with that type of dosage, yeah, I don't really want to take the chance on some cheapo turmeric that I've just picked up at a grocery store, even if it is a nice organic grocery store with very courteous people that are working at it. It also contains lion's mane, which is a mushroom that, as more research is done on it, as more clinical studies are coming out on it, we're finding that it just has some really marvelous properties for stimulating neuroplasticity, for immunity, for adding to the overall neurobiological resilience that you have. And with this, they are real specific, and they are, again, most importantly, they're verifying that it is the highest quality form of the lion's mane. There is, of course, lion's mane that's like grain sprouted, and that's generally what you want to avoid. That is stuff that is grown like on grain, which you don't really want. You want the lion's mane that is like growing on, imagine like an old rotting tree trunk in the woods, and that's where actually the very best stuff comes from. And that's what this contains. So as far as the dosage, with a stack like this, you're going to want to do some experimentation with the dosage. The recommended dosage is like 2 capsules in the morning and then 2 in the afternoon. However, I found I experimented with dosage. I went as low as just 3 capsules total daily, but I really found that the sweet spot for me was 6 capsules total daily. So 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon. And I found that it was more of a cognition and productivity enhancing nootropic blend than a stimulating one. And I have got my preferred go-to stimulants pretty well figured out. They are caffeine, coffee, good quality coffee, and nicotine. I'll do throughout the day, I'll do little hits of nicotine. Typically I'll do one in the morning, and then I'll do one after my lunch, and then I'll do one in the evening, because nicotine has this short half-life. It has like a 90-minute half-life, and so it can actually be pretty good to take a little bit later in the day when you don't want something that's going to really be messing up your sleep quality. Speaking of sleep quality, this, to my experience thus far, has not had much of an effect on sleep quality, which is good. I'm kind of staying away from the nootropics that give you like a ton of energy, because typically nootropics will pass through your system and they'll have their half-life of effect over the course of, might be 4 hours, might be 5, 6, maybe 7 hours. So a lot of times you'll want to do some nootropics when you're in the mid-afternoon, so you can get a little bit more of a pep, so that you got a little bit more energy and focus, so that you can make your second half of the day as productive as the first one was. But you kind of shoot yourself in the foot if you're doing nootropics that are going to mess with your sleep and that are going to, in my case, I try to get to sleep at a reasonable time, but if I do nootropics that are really strong, then it will have sometimes I'll toss and turn for hours, or sometimes it just won't be great sleep. So I'd encourage you to be, as you're having a lot of fun and experimenting with all these nootropics, I would encourage you to also be quite as mindful as you can be about the way that they affect your sleep. And with this product, I'd urge you, because the ingredients in it, they're the kind of things that they do have an immediate effect. Well, not immediate, but an effect typically within 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour or two of taking it, where you'll feel a bit more focused, you'll have a bit more energy, you'll be typing a bit faster is one of the things you'll notice. But it also has a long-term effect on neuroplasticity, which is being able to remember things, being able to learn new skills more effectively and have them stick in your mind. And this takes a little bit more long-term dosing of the ingredients. If you go and look up the clinical studies that are on some of the ingredients of this product, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see people doing trials where they were taking things for 2, 3, 6 months, things like that, to experience the kinds of effects that we're looking for. And so for that reason, I'd suggest that you pick up like a couple of bottles of this stuff. And it's not cheap. It's not quite as expensive as I think some of the other nootropic products out there that are comparable to it. I did some other videos that were comparing some of these kind of high-end type nootropic stacks, where you're looking at, the BMW versus the Lexus versus the Mercedes-Benz of nootropics. And if we're going to run with the automotive metaphor there, I think that NeuroStack is probably the Lexus, because it is very, very good, and it is a bit cheaper. It's a bit less expensive than some of the other things that are out there. I think the closest thing on the market to it is Qualia. And I have not tried Qualia, but Qualia is quite steep. I believe Qualia comes in at about $110 120, it probably depends upon what kind of specials they're running on it, whereas this is around $60. So I think it's a pretty reasonable bang for your biohacking buck. And to try to make that a better value for you, I will include a biohacking consultation with myself, a private one-on-one Skype call, phone call, and we can get on for about 30 minutes and we can chat about really whatever you want, but often people will have questions about biohacking, life hacking stuff that they have been kind of confused with the results and the answers that they're getting from Google. Oh God, isn't it wonderful that we have Google in our lives, giving us conflicting answers to everything that we are pondering, right? So, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, but I have done these consultations with a lot of people. I've talked with hundreds of biohackers over the years, in addition to doing 8 years of personal self-experimentation. And this has given me a lot of insight as a practitioner that is kind of at the epicenter of a community of practitioners. And a lot of times I can give people really good ideas of things that they might not have thought of that really do help. I have a lot of people that will say, wow, Jonathan, thanks for your advice. And we do have a secret society. We have a private online biohacker community. As I'm sure you're aware, there's a bunch of Facebook groups and forums out there where you can talk with other biohackers. But if you've used these, you've found that, first of all, there's the cult of the amateur effect going on, where anybody can say anything on the internet, right? And then you might also find that, especially on places like Reddit, people are kind of mean. And you'll pose an honest question and people will just kind of give you really trolling, unhelpful, insulting answers. And the Limitless Mindset Secret Society is a respectful place for a little bit higher level kind of conversation. Dare I say, just a little bit more of an elite civilized place on the internet. And I've made a bunch of awesome friends over the years doing these Skype calls. And so I do hope to be in touch with you. Again, do check out the article below because I describe all of those ingredients in it. You'll want to look at what some of these things are. And I hope that you do try this stuff. If you do, leave me a comment here or leave a review on limitlessmindset.com letting me know what your experience with it was. I should mention also, this is my wife's favorite nootropic thus far. I give her all sorts of nootropics to try, and she really liked this one, particularly because of the B vitamins that are in it. It contains a number of those B vitamins, which are really crucial, and they are especially worthy of your attention if you live in a big city with bad pollution. Bad pollution has a disastrous effect on your DNA. It is correlated with cancer. It's really kind of a problem. And there was a study that I do link to that was done that showed that B vitamins protect your DNA from some of that damage that the pollution can do. So that's kind of your cool fact of the day to bring up at your next cocktail party. Again, I'm Jonathan with Limitless Mindset, and I look forward to a continued conversation with you.